So we know the state of Washington is considering literally getting into the drug dealing business. They have a multi-year study that's been done and a task force looking into what they're calling safe supply. Not a surprise that people who actually work with drug addicts think this is a really bad idea. This segment is brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration about the state of Washington, all the politics, turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that. So a reminder, we reported on the show last week about this work group that was created by a bill in 2021 that's been studying options to create a safe supply program in Washington state. Safe supply means providing drugs that have been tested directly to drug addicts. As we said on the show last week, they had 4 different frameworks that they're considering. None of them are good. One of them would be a buyer's club framework, where they would say a network of people in the community will pool their money, buy from a source, and then use that to purchase drugs in bulk, test them, repackage them, and provide them back to the community. Another framework would say drugs are prescribed and administered in a supervised setting under the care of health professionals and or peer workers. So they're literally talking about the state of Washington becoming a drug dealer. And even in this working group, they said we also have to come up with a plan for if we put the drug dealers out of work, what they're going to do, because the drug dealers will lose their jobs if Washington state is the one slinging fentanyl to fentanyl addicts. So of course, this is an absolutely insane idea. It makes no sense, but I wouldn't be surprised if the state of Washington ends up pursuing it and actually implementing it. And so we heard immediately after this story from individuals who work in these spaces, who are actually out there working with drug addicts one-on-one, who are working with people who are trying to get out of homelessness. And we want to talk to Christine Moreland, who has been working with homeless people, specifically, people who are suffering with addiction, a lot of focus on women, has also worked with human trafficking victims. She had a really strong reaction to hearing the news that Washington state was considering this. So she joined us on Sundays with Subscribers to not only discuss this, but at the same time, the state of Washington defunding something like PIC, a pediatric interim care facility that helps drug addicted babies. So you have the state of Washington that's taking away assistance to get, babies who are drug addicted, to help them, to help mothers who are addicted to drugs when they deliver babies. Like, the state of Washington's doing away with stuff like that and then coming up with plans like this where they want to provide a safe drug supply to addicts to keep them in addiction. So here's a clip of our interview with Christine Moreland from Sunday's show.
Ask the women who have ever received care from PIC. They know their baby's somewhere safe. They know it's being rocked and loved, and they can be in treatment and not even think twice about it. And then they don't have to go out and worry that CPS is going to take their child.
Yeah.
Come on, guys.
Wow. Have you tried to express that to
somebody?
Sorry. No, I mean, you can tell,
until your hands and feet on the street and you hear the cries from these people. People beg me and tell me all the time, I do not want to be an addict. Get me, this fentanyl is killing me, Christine. I can't get off of it. It's a beast. I had a young woman, pregnant, begging for fentanyl yesterday. Do you know what that feels like as the person that's serving her? All I'm doing is begging God to take those chains off that woman so that we can help her get recovery and get those next steps. This is real. We're in the trenches. This isn't fake news. This is real stuff. And we're going to continue to perpetuate this harm to a place that there is going to be zero opportunity for healing.
And now can you imagine that woman going to a state-run facility and having them hand her drugs while she's pregnant?
No. And then I was the daughter of an addict.
Yeah, same.
I was the daughter of an addict, right? Like, I want an opportunity not to have that ceiling on me.
Yeah.
I want these children to have the opportunity not to have that ceiling on them. Like, what is our state thinking? Whomever, and my phone is open. My email is open. If you want to talk to me about this, if you want to know why I'm so passionate and deeply embedded in this, and you want to try and convince me that safe supply work, call me. I would love to hear your rationale behind this. And I also respectfully want to know if you have an addict in your family.
Yeah.
Tell me, is someone an addict?
Yeah.
Do you have to look at the face of these kids every day on these streets? No.
Yeah. If you don't care that much about getting people off of drugs, you have no place in government. You have no place in any sort of nonprofit that's getting money from the taxpayers to deal with the drug crisis and the homelessness crisis. The problem is we have too few people like Christine working on this issue, and too many people like these bozos who want to create a safe supply that will literally keep people in addiction, living in filth and squalor. So we have this entire homelessness industrial complex made up of all these ideological nonprofits that want to keep getting those multi-million-dollar checks. And the only way to keep getting those multi-million-dollar checks is to keep people addicted to drugs. What better way to keep people addicted to drugs than have the state of Washington take over as drug dealers, make sure they have a free and steady supply? A supply that's not going to accidentally kill them because of a hot shot. So you test it, make sure there's nothing unexpected in it. Might still kill them, but maybe not at the same levels. So you keep them alive, you keep them high, you keep them dependent on the government, and that's what keeps the money coming in and the money going out to the Democrat-aligned nonprofits that are pretending like they care about the people who they're literally killing. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. And you listen to someone like Christine, who's just emotional at the idea that some of these people she works with day in and day out to do everything in her power to get them off drugs would be able to one day walk into a government-run clinic and have those drugs given to them in a prescription bottle. If you're not as passionate as Christine, you do not belong in any space where they're, quote unquote, helping the homeless or where they're, quote unquote, helping addicts. And the problem is, though, people like Christine are vilified. Like with Andrea Suarez and We Heart Seattle. Anyone who's actually willing to say that it's not okay to have these people continue to be addicted to drugs, that we have to do something and there has to be a little tough love, they're vilified. It's right-wing, hateful. No. Does Christine seem hateful to you? No, she seems like someone who actually wants to save lives. God forbid. If you want to watch that full interview with Christine Moreland, who is the president and co-founder of The More We Love, sign up to become a subscriber to Undivided, undividedpod.com, undividedpod.com. You can catch our weekly show, Sundays with Subscribers. Just a really emotional interview. She's so awesome. You can really, really tell that she has, I would say she loves the work she does, but also hates it at the same time. She wants to fix the problem. She actually wants to fix the problem, and it's very, very apparent. All right, that segment was brought to you in partnership with our friends over at Future 42. Turn your frustration into action at future42.org. Make sure you sign up for their newsletter to be alerted to opportunities to do just that.